Here's Jan. So, good things. Your body position is very high in the water. Hips and legs are not sinking at all. Your forward extension is good with both arms. And your side-to-side rotation is good. As far as the above water aspect of things, your head is a little high, however, it's not affecting your lower body. So it's a big issue when your lower body's sinking, but if your lower body's not sinking, it's not that big of an issue. That being said, from a pure streamline perspective, you could try to keep your eyes looking down a bit more so that the water's hitting the crown of your head rather than your forehead. Sometimes when you're reaching forward, you're reaching sort of along the center line or reaching in a bit at the front of the stroke. And you'll see a better angle on that when we film you from the front. But what happens when you do that is that your initial starting position for the pull is not quite as effective as it could be if you were to just reach in front of your shoulder. So it's a long-winded way of saying your left arm, when it extends forward, should be in line with your left shoulder, and your right arm should be in line with your right shoulder, whereas now they're more in line with your head. And that goes into the underwater pull. Again, something I'll talk about more when we get to the underwater section. But you look very comfortable. The breathing is fine. Kick is, timed. The timing is fine. It's supporting your strokes. Kicking is something you can work on as a standalone to increase your strength of kick, but the technique that you have there looks fine. So here you can see how your hands go in front of your head. But it's not causing a twist through your lower body, which it does for some people, so that's good. And you can see that your head is pretty high. Maybe get a better view of it. That's called swimming to the center line or crossing over slightly, depending on who you talk to. It's more pronounced on your left arm, so your left hand goes all the way to the other side of your body. So you want to reach directly in front of your shoulder. Okay, underwater. So if you recall, there's three main ways people swim. One is the elbow slip, where the elbow kind of pulls back towards the body and the hand and forearm never really go vertical or perpendicular to the bottom of the pool. You're not doing that. The other ways are pulling with the straight arm, meaning that hand, forearm, and upper arm are sort of one line when viewed from the side as they pull back through the stroke. You are doing that. The third way, which we talked about trying to get to, is what's called the high elbow catch or the early vertical forearm. So when you reach forward, you reach as far as you can, and then you internally shrug or rotate your shoulder inward. And then with your upper arm still angled forward, your hand and forearm start to go vertical relative to the bottom of the pool. What that does is it increases the efficiency of your stroke. If you imagine directional arrows coming off your hand and forearm at the moment, the first third of that stroke, a lot of that water is just being pushed downward. And if you can get your hand and forearm straight up and down relative to the bottom of the pool, a lot more arrows will be pointing backward, meaning you're pulling your body forward more effectively. You're doing a good job of pulling all the way through the stroke. There's a little bit of hand pulling under the body as you rotate to the other side. That's okay. You just want to make sure that your hand doesn't go too far under your body. When your hand goes, well under your body, that means you're not really using your back muscles. You're starting to use more bicep and pec. But this is okay. It's on the inside of what I'd call okay, but that's okay. But you can see how you start from the center or start from in front of your head, so you want to work on the starting position. Okay, so this one, we're just thinking about getting our head a little bit lower. Basically, looking down. Try to feel the water hitting the crown of your head as opposed to forehead. This is better. Still a little bit of looking up as you turn into breathing. It's going to take some getting used to. So here's some shots. This is pre any feedback, so just showing you what your stroke was doing. So nice reach, good rotation to the side, and then you initiate the catch and pull. And what you want to see is that hand and forearm taking a different angle than that upper arm. So this is a straight arm style of pulling. So that first third of the stroke, a lot of water just kind of pushing down, and it's not really till here where you have most of your pull directing your arm going back, or the water going back, your body going forward. So that's the key stroke improvement for you. And then a pretty good follow through, push through on the finish of the stroke. So looking at your left arm now. So that's an arm that's going in a bit more in towards your head. Good rotation. And then starting the catch and pull. And pretty similar to the other side. You have a bit more hand angle. The hand is in correct motion, but you would want your forearm to also be in that position there. So that's still kind of straight arm pulling. So the drills you really could work on for that are the one arm drill, thinking about rolling your shoulder and getting your hand and forearm vertical. There's a drill called the doggy paddle, if we didn't work on that one, where you really think about the front catch of the stroke. And then fist drill, where you close your hands into fists so you can try to feel the water on your forearm.